Hi, I'm Mrs. Sweet, and I'm here to tell you a story about Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle. And they lived in houses that were identical each other. So if you want to do along with me, all you need are your hands and your thumbs. So this is the start of the story. Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle were really good friends, and one lived on the east side of town and one lived on the west side of town. And one day, Mr. Wiggle decided he wanted to go and visit Mr. Waggle. So he opened his door, he stepped outside, he shut his door, and he went up the hill and down the hill, and 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 got to the top. And he got to Mr. Waggle's house, and he knocked on Mr. Waggle's door. Knock, knock, knock. And he listened, and there was no answer. So he went to the back side of Mr. Waggle's house, and he knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Still no answer. So he called out, "Oh, Mr. Waggle, are you home?" But there was no answer. So Mr. Wiggle decided to go home. He went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill. He was tired, and he opened his door. He went inside, and he shut his door. So the very next morning, Mr. Waggle woke up and said, "I wonder what my friend Mr. Wiggle's doing. I think I should go visit him." So he opened his door. He went outside and he shut his door, and he started heading to Mr. Wiggle's house. He went up the hill and down the hill, and 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 up the hill. And he was really tired. He got to Mr. Wiggle's house, and he went over and he knocked on the door 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. And he listened. There was no answer. So he went to the back door and he knocked on his door 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. No one was there, so he called, "Oh, Mr. Waggle, are you home?" But there was no answer. So Mr. Waggle went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill. He got back to his own home, and he opened the door. He went inside, and he shut his door. So the next day, both Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle decided that they were going to go visit their friend. So they both opened their doors, they both stepped outside, and they shut their doors. And they went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill. And they met each other right in the middle, and they were so excited. They talked to each other and told each other their stories about what they've been doing, and they were so excited that they decided to roll down the hill. And then they climbed back up the hill, and they rolled down the hill again. And they climbed back up the hill. They did it one more time. They rolled down the hill, and they came back up. And they were tired. And it was starting to get a little late. They had spent all day together, and it was time for them to go home. So they went over and they gave each other big hugs and said, "It was so good seeing you." And so they started to head home. They went up the hill and down the hill, and 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 up the hill. And they were finally home, and they both opened their doors. They stepped inside, and they shut their doors. And the very next time they decided to visit, they decided that they would call each other first before they went to each other's houses. And that is the story of Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle. Thanks for joining me. Thanks. Bye.